Once again, it's time for the Team Lift podcast with your hosts, Brandon Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Let's go ahead and get right into the show. All right, welcome back to the show. Once again, it's your boy, Roderick McDaniel, here to host another episode of the Team Lift podcast with my favorite co-host in the world, Mr. Brandon Bowie. What's up, Brandon?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, bro, feeling good. Feeling real good about this episode. This is a monumental episode because this is the first time, drum roll please, we got a guest star. All right, yes. And our guest star, if you've been playing on Xbox Live, if you're playing Pokemon Go, if you've seen this name online, you probably wondered, who is this mysterious person? We have Austin's own, the GD Batman. How you doing, Batman?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
All right, hell yeah, we're doing great. We are bringing you in because this is going to be a special episode. We're going to get into some Batman. We know that you're a huge collector of Batman. How many pieces of Batman paraphernalia do you think you have in your collection right now?
300 plus.
300 plus.
Yeah.
So a house
And that's
full
just
of
the
Batman
stuff she's got at work.
Yeah, that's just the stuff I have at work.
Oh, good lord. Okay. That's a lot of Batman
Wait,
going
we
on.
talking collectibles or we talking comic books?
Just everything. What do you think?
Oh,
if it has
thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah, because I've got a couple hundred comic books. I've got all the pops. I got the Legos. Got the books. I got it all.
That's a lot of Batman.
Statues, figures.
How old were you when you first knew that's my hero? Batman's my hero.
It's probably middle school.
Middle school?
Middle school.
What happened? Was it a movie or
It's my
something?
dad. It was my dad.
Your dad's a big
Yep.
Batman fan?
We used to go to Austin Books and Comics.
Mm-hmm.
Every summer, we'd spend our summers, just digging into each storyline, discussing it, talking about it, and I just really, when I found Batman, I was like, that's the one.
See,
That's me right there.
this is why dads are so important because we get to pass on geeky stuff.
Yeah.
Like I passed it on to my kids, and there was no greater joy. Like the little 12-inch action figures. Mm-hmm. All my grandsons got one. I bought each one of them one, but my firstborn grandson, he got to choose. We put 3 out there and said, you choose which one you want, and the one he went for was Batman. And I'm not gonna lie, tears started rolling down my cheeks. I was like, he's going to be the good one. And each one of them got a different one. So the second grandson picked Superman. And the third grandson went with Spider-Man. So I was like, they went in the order of their birth. They were like, yeah. So I was like, well, I'm going to have more DC grandsons than Marvel, but I still got a granddaughter I can work. Now, my granddaughter, she says she's Batman.
All right.
She wears the little, she has a tutu, but it has the Batman top and the mask, and she'll tell everybody, I'm Batman. And they kept trying, my daughter kept saying to her, well, why don't you be Batwoman? She said, you be Batwoman, I'm Batman. And I was like, well played, that is my granddaughter. The DNA test has been passed, you're mine, you stay. So this is cool. We're going to get into your guys' brain. One of our favorite things we do on the show, and it seems to have resonated with the people that mail into us, is called Pick Brandon's Brain. All right, now what we do is we'll pose a topic, and then we get Brandon to talk about it. Brandon, you're going to have competition today. The GD Batman is going to be helping you with this one. And the reason the GD Batman is here is because we need her help on this one. Okay, so you guys are aware that we have a brand new Batman animated movie coming to theaters, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, and we know it's going to be the first R-rated one.
Yes.
So The Killing Joke, which is one of my all-time favorite stories in the Batman lore, is being made into, I guess, what we call the DC animated universe.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing is, I noticed they added it to 300 theaters.
Yeah. So it was originally, I think, like 30 or 40 theaters only.
Right.
For one night, and now it's going to be, now showing at over 1,000 cinemas. So they added another 300. Wait.
So they got up to 700, added 300 to get to now 1,000, if I'm correct.
Yeah. That's because
it's sold
every
out.
theater except sold out. And they're like, we could make more money if we
Yeah,
add more theaters.
I don't know why they're just going to do this for one night only. That just seems stupid. Just give it a full run. Let it go.
I'm starting to wonder about this because, okay, Fathom Events, they always do these one-night things. I don't know if the Cinemark in Pflugerville does a lot of those Fathom events. Mm-hmm. So especially at Christmas time, there'll be a one-night event where they do the Nutcracker, the ballet, and you can see it on big screens in HD. So I know they're known for these events. This one, we need to find out. This could probably be one of their biggest events ever as far as the hype behind it and how people have bought into this one. I mean, now, what do you guys... Brandon, first of all, how familiar are you with the Killing Joke storyline?
I've read the comics. I've wanted to see something like live action or animated for it for a long time. And I actually have tickets to this. I'm going to it. I managed to get like front row center at one theater at midnight, the last showing on the day that they're actually going to be doing it. So that's going to be fun.
Randy,
I got my tickets too. I'll be there at 7:30.
you're going to the 7:30.
7:30 showing.
How many tickets did you get? Just one?
I got 3.
You got 3.
Yep.
So the GD Batman's bringing guests.
Yeah, I'm dragging my girlfriend. I'm dragging Travis.
Ah, so you're gonna bring my boy Travis with you? Okay, so
I'm
now,
gonna turn him into a Batman fan. Like, he's Team Superman, but it's my life mission to change it to Team Batman.
We need people to be Team Superman. Because here's the thing: Team Superman guys, they do the right thing always. They're just like they're Boy Scouts.
They're Boy Scouts. I don't have time for Boy Scouts.
Hey, look, when a building's on fire and orphans and cats need to be saved, we need those Boy Scouts. Because I'm more going to be like Luke Cage, and I'm only going to be for hire. I'm not going in that building unless there's a payday. I promise you, I'm not that guy. So here's where I want to go. I want to kind of pick your guys' brain about this. Brandon and I have talked about this many times before. When we talk about generations of Batman in film, we say, that's my Batman. So for a whole generation, their Batman is Christian Bale.
No.
Yeah. It's
Oh, you said no.
but it's true.
It's true, but I hate that Batman.
What?
That's not my
Why?
That's not my Batman.
That is a great cinematic Batman.
That's
you hated it?
not my Batman.
Okay, who's your Batman?
My Batman
Yeah.
is Kevin Conroy.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
the truth.
That's my Batman.
Yeah, there we go. Now, here's why we say this. You've said that before.
Yeah.
You did not know this, but he said that. In fact, I think on our second episode we ever did, we talked about Kevin Conroy. And he says this, that was his Batman.
That's my Batman.
So the animated series, which you and I have both talked about this before at length, monumental. No, we did not realize how big this was when it was made.
That's my Batman.
That's
my Joker, and that's my Batman.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, hands down,
The best.
the best Joker that ever lived.
I thought when they brought those two guys into the game,
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to cry when they came over. When they said, we're going to get let's face it. Bruce Timm, to me, probably one of the most underrated guys in comic book history, because this guy basically took the whole Batman idea, brought it to an animated series, and it was not this jokey, hokey. These were some serious storylines they did on here. And in fact, I don't know if you guys remember it, but the Mr. Freeze story won an Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the first animated series to do so.
Yeah, it won an Emmy. And this was a show that we watched after school. Now, granted, I should say my little brother watched it after school. By the time the show came out, I was already kind of off doing my thing with the military. So I was very familiar with the show, watched the show when I was in port, like did not miss episodes if I was in port. I always watched it. But it was just kind of a thing that he was watching it and I was watching it even though I was away from home. It was how we connected. So how are you guys excited about that these are the guys that are going to be in this one?
Hell yeah.
Hells yes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the rated R version? I want to get your Batman
Very,
talk to us.
very excited about that because my Batman is also Frank Miller's dark, gritty. This Batman's seen some shit. This is not a cookie cutter. This is not Superman's story. This is not, oh, I feel so good. Heroes are here to save me. No, this is real life. This is a pissed off, angry Batman. Shit's already gone down. He's an old man now. And it's what makes him Batman. He's already lost
The
his
essence
Robins.
of Batman.
Yeah.
So you agree with what everything
Yeah,
she said?
everything. Every drop.
Do you guys think right now they could bring back that version of the cartoon?
I think they could bring back that version of the cartoon. What I want, now this is what I've wanted for a long time. I want Kevin Conroy and I want Mark Hamill in live action in their roles as Batman and as the Joker doing Batman Beyond.
Because you've been saying Kevin Conroy needs to play old Batman.
Kevin Conroy could be perfect for old Batman. I mean, he's already an older guy anyway. Just, give him a hair dye job, make his hair black, whatever. You don't even really need to do that. The second that he opens his mouth, you know that he is fucking Batman. There's no doubt.
He's not just Batman. He's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
He plays the subtle change in his voice when he's Bruce Wayne, the power, the control, the billionaire emphasis that comes out is just smooth. Then he puts the cowl on And he doesn't do that stupid Christian Bale, I gargled rocks before I opened my mouth voice. But he still changes.
Why are you trying to kill me?
His voice still changes. And it's powerful. It's powerful.
Oh, I am now messed up. She just said he gargled rocks. I'm like, what?
That's what he sounds like.
Oh, wow.
I hate Christian Bale as Batman.
I love. Okay, I must be the only person in on the podcast today that absolutely watched that. I have all of them on Blu-ray. I've watched them multiple times. I loved everything about that series.
No.
Because I thought they were serious. I thought they were well done. And here's the thing.
Serious? Did you see? Were we watching the same movie?
Oh, we're going to get into this. We are going to get into this.
Because, I mean, I'm sorry. Sean Connery as Bane was like, no. No.
Sean Connery was Roz. And well, no, that was, who was it?
That was Taken. That was
Taken. Yeah, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Now, okay, let's go ahead and get into this because, man, this is one of the favorite things about being comic book geeks. We know what we should have seen. So, like, when we read the comic books, we know what actors we wanted to see in those roles. Okay, so for me, like, when I watched it, okay, first, Lucius Fox. Yeah, thank you, Morgan Freeman.
That was fine.
Thank you. Perfect casting. I still, Heath Ledger, to me, has now surpassed, like, I judge all Jokers on screen by his performance because he had enough of the insanity edge, like I've always said Jack Nicholson embodied. There's something about actors that are like kind of on the edge in their personal life that when they go into that role, it really just transcends that role. I think Jack Nicholson was a great Joker. Heath Ledger is my favorite cinematic Joker ever, bar none. I judge all Jokers by that. I can honestly say I'm kind of excited to see what Jared Leto's going to do in the role in Suicide Squad. I want to see what's going to happen.
I'm very scared.
I think the only thing that really needs to happen in Jared Leto's Joker is like they need to laser those tattoos off.
Yes.
That just hit him with a nice eraser a little bit here and there.
You know what kills me about that? Because, okay.
I don't think he's the Joker, though.
Let's go ahead and get into that. Who do you think
I think he's Jason Todd.
I think so, too.
You guys think it's going to be the Jason Todd Joker?
Well, if you look
at his tattoos.
Yeah, if you look at his tattoos and then you look at that still of the suit for Robin that's in, I think it's in Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, it's
in the
Batcave.
shoulders. In both shoulders, there's a hole in both of the shoulders. And if you look at the promo pictures of Jared Leto's Joker, there are scars on him on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also dealing with old Batman at that point in Batman vs. Superman, which means that what happened when in, what was it, Dark Knight Returns, where he kills the Joker. Wasn't it Dark Knight Returns?
You're thinking about the Frank Miller comic?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's look at this. Because there's several versions where the Joker has killed a Robin. So we know the original was, the death of Robin.
The death of Robin.
Which, was mind-blowing for me in the 80s that we're killing Robin. Mm-hmm. All right, now at that time, I want to say, that was the Jason Todd. That was Jason Todd that died. It's that Robin. And he was a hated Robin.
Yes.
Here's the thing. When Jason Todd was introduced as a Robin in the comic book, people hated him as a character. Because, we'd always had... we had one Robin that had now gone off to be Nightwing, and it was not a really a good split between the two characters. Then we had Jason Todd come in the comic book, and he was kind of cocky, and he was kind of brash, and people hated him. And I really blame that more on the writers.
Yep.
But then, like, near the end of that run, like, he got to be really, like, we were starting to get kind of sympathetic for him. You started seeing the readers really like this guy. So it was a character that started off as hated, then we started to like him. And right when we start to like him, they kill him in the comic book, which is kind of a crappy thing to do. We just now started liking this guy, and you're going to kill it. And then it was a great story. We saw Batman go through some things. We kind of got an idea. I think the Joker became a little bit darker and larger than life because it was one thing when you were always trying to kill him, but you never killed one of them. It was the first time we had seen the Joker be successful in killing a Robin. Mm-hmm. And it really kind of changed the comic book. I really think it added an edge to the Joker character at that time. Then we got Tim Drake. When Tim Drake stepped into the role of Robin, I thought that was amazing. I've liked it. But this is where we started seeing some weirdness, because if you guys have seen the animated movie, there was a Batman animated movie in Batman. You can tell me which one was it, where we get it was in the Batman Beyond movie, where we actually saw what happened on the other end of when a Robin was caught and tortured and made to snap their minds. And they were made basically into a Joker Jr. You remember this whole story, right?
I remember.
So now, to me, that was a great story, by the way. That Batman Beyond was amazing. But now it starts to make me wonder, is the Suicide Squad going to borrow from that mythos?
I really think that they are.
You guys really own to this one, huh?
Yeah. I really think it's Jason Todd. Because that's the ultimate way to fuck with Batman.
Is to bring one of his own in to torture him. Which it did.
And the original Joker could already be dead too. You know, if the original Joker trussed Robin up and fucked him up, and then Batman killed him, and then Jason Todd went insane and became the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. In the animated movie, that's how it happens. If you've seen the Batman Beyond film, the animated version, it was also one of the first films to got a PG-13 rating, and they had to censor it. There were two versions because there was one with a murder scene in it.
Yeah.
It was the first DC animated movie that had an actual murder scene in it. And so if you can find the uncut version, it's worth getting it on. I think I bought it on Blu-ray for $8 one time at a Best Buy.
Nice.
Loved it, saw it, said, yeah, gonna own this again. I had the DVD, had it on VHS, and now on the Blu-ray. I was like, yeah, awesome. We're getting this one. So I'm glad you were talking about hating cinematic Batmans, because we're going to ask you another question.
Okay.
There's a film that we talk about on this show every now and then.
Tiny film.
Little
film. Not many people know about it.
Little film. This little independent film called Batman versus Superman.
Yeah. I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, you were a fan of this.
I was a fan of it.
You saw it in the theater.
I did. I saw it 3 times.
I saw it once.
You saw it once. Okay, so we talk about this independent film here on the show, and the reason I have you here is we're going to pick your brain about it. Okay. Because we played Pick Your Brain with Brandon one time on this subject, and it was brutal. It was not... Brandon, I think it'd be an understatement if I was to say you hated this film.
Yeah, that's an understatement, and actually.
If I'm correct, so eloquently put it, under candlelight, you said it was a shit on a biscuit film. I think that's how you described it to me.
It's 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
There we go. Okay. Now, Batman, we know you disagree with this.
I do disagree with this.
Okay, so I'm going to ask that you two be civil, because we're going into some uncharted territory right now. Batman, tell me why you liked it.
I liked it because, back to what I was saying before, this Batman is an older, darker, more beat-up Batman. He's already lost to Robin. This is closer. This is mimicking almost the Frank Miller Batman that I love. Frank Miller, hands down, writes the best Batman comic books. And I feel that Ben Affleck, I was worried when I'm not ashamed to say this. When I heard that Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, I cried because I did not want this man to portray my hero.
This Oscar award winner.
Yeah. And that was the thing that we talked
for directing and acting
about this. Yeah. That I wanted, like because when they announced him, I loved him. And they were like, why? I said, have you not seen Ben Affleck's movies? This guy wins Oscars. He is going to know this character. And I was like all excited. Now, I remember people lost their ever-loving fucking minds
I was
online.
one of those people.
They were pissed. They were like, no. It was like you saw daddy on top of mommy and you were betrayed. Why are you hurting mommy?
I was pissed. Pissed. And I will eat my words. He did a phenomenal job. He nailed it.
This is the only thing he keeps saying about that movie is that I liked him.
The best parts of the movie were Batman and Wonder Woman. That was it.
I agree that Batman... I wish Wonder Woman had more story, more depth.
Yeah, more role.
Because she just kind of seemed to show up at parties.
Yeah.
Kind of
and then
tease
show up
a little,
at big fight scenes.
And then she disappeared and then she was in the main battle. But they didn't talk about her. We see the picture of her in World War I. You know, Bruce Wayne's like, what the fuck? And then that's it. And then she's there, she's kicking ass, then the movie ends. And I know she's getting her own movie, so the whole time I'm watching this, I'm thinking, of course they're not going to give away anything because she's getting her own movie, just the same way as Aquaman's getting his own movie. So I just took the movie for what it was. It was an introduction to all these characters that we all know and love, done in a different light. And I feel like there was a lot of subtle hints to the injustice line where, you know, Superman does lose his ever-loving mind when Lois Lane dies. Mm-hmm. And it does become, he becomes basically what Bruce Wayne was afraid of. He takes the entire world into the palm of his hand. He goes, I'm the police, I'm the god now, and you're going to do what I say. And there was Doomsday and Darkseid. And I really want to see what they're going to do with Darkseid.
This is interesting.
I understand where you're coming from, but thematically and storytelling wise and directing and just editing and pacing, all of it was garbage.
The pacing was garbage because they do go. The timeline makes no sense.
The timeline doesn't make any sense.
The timeline makes no sense.
Like how
Lois Lane knowing to go back to get the spear of kryptonite when she was nowhere near the battle that was happening. She had no idea that she needed that weapon, and yet she knew to jump into the water and go get it. Made no sense.
How did Batman get from where they were having that battle together, from there all the way back to the Batcave to get his ship to fly all the way to where Martha Kent was in 10 minutes?
I agree. The editing
Why in the
did not make sense.
Why in the fuck is Gotham on the other side of the harbor from Metropolis when Metropolis is supposed to be in Kansas and Gotham is supposed to be New York City?
Yeah.
I've always thought Metropolis was Chicago. I'm not even joking. Like when I think of it in terms, it seems more like a Chicago big city feel.
Yeah.
And in Chicago compared to New York City, I mean, they're both, like I've been to both.
Either
one
way,
of them's sunnier.
They're still
one of them's a little brighter than the other.
One of them's a little brighter than the other one. I'm not saying New York's a bad place, but
yeah,
it is Gotham.
It is Gotham. It's darker.
In real life, it is Gotham.
Whether it's supposed to be New York and Chicago or New York and someplace in Kansas, they're still way too fucking far away from each other to be right across the bay from one another, guys.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah, okay.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
If you're going to dissect the film and make it realistic, then this conversation's over. Because this movie is about an alien and a man dressed like a bat and a woman from a different fucking planet. Okay, so...
No, she's not from a different planet.
She's on an island. Yeah, Wonder Woman's on an
Okay.
island. But here's my thing about
okay,
this.
She's an Amazonian goddess. Okay, so let's stop measuring things and be like, well, realistically, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
But no, did
Comic book
Batman
wise,
get
this
the ability
doesn't
to
make any
teleport? Is that what happened?
Maybe he did. You don't know his life.
Comic
He's
book
got to
wise.
keep some secrets to himself, okay? He is a complicated man.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it when I brought you on the show what I was going to get. And
I take this movie for what it was.
Okay.
It was an introduction to a large, you can tell, this was the Cliff Notes version. It's like you were assigned a reading assignment in class and you didn't want to read any of it. Mm-hmm. So someone told you everything you needed to know.
Yeah, but
There's so much more to come.
Yeah, but the problem is that they tried to do in one movie what Marvel managed to do over a 10-year period.
6 movies, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this.
No, in a 10-year period, like from the original Iron Man all the way up to Civil War, they were telling one cohesive story, and that's the way that it should be told.
Agreed.
Batman. So
Yes.
are you a huge DC fan, if we could say this?
Yes.
Okay. And
DC
your
over
your
Marvel.
friend Travis, huge DC fan. So I can say you and Travis, DC fans.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Would you have rather seen the DC Cinematic Universe follow the Marvel path and give you one movie and kind of tie it together, then another movie and tie it together?
Yes, I would have rather have had that. Now I understand why they didn't do it that way, because the Christian Bale Batman movies are still relatively new.
Right.
So when people think of Batman, they think of Christian Bale's Batman. Like you said earlier, there was no point in doing an origin story of Batman again. We already know who he is. We already know everything about him.
So why not do all the other origin stories and then do a Batman origin story way later down the line?
Because
do
people...
Flash, do Flash, do Aquaman, do fucking
They
Cyborg,
tried to do Aquaman.
do Cyborg, and then do Superman and Batman, and then do a Justice League movie.
The studio already had the Aquaman in the can ready to go, and nobody liked it. So they scrapped the whole thing and started over. If they were going to start that way and have it tank, then that was it.
Yeah,
Then that was
their whole
end.
franchise would have
So,
ended.
so they'd rather just have it all tank on one movie than have it tank on a bunch of movies.
See,
I don't get the
I
difference.
understand that you didn't like the movie, and I understand that a lot of people didn't like the movie, but I also feared that the movie is being dragged through the mud because of bandwagoning. If someone says,
Interesting.
I didn't like this, you're not going to like it, you're going to go in going, yeah, you're probably right, I'm not going to like this. And then you don't like it. But did you not like it because you didn't like it, or did you not like it because you went online and read that 10 million people didn't like it?
I didn't like it because it was a bad movie with.
But here's our thing, though.
You did not like it that way.
But we have a super fan of the show, and it's a guy named Joe Nathan, and we call Joe Nathan the ultimate super fan of Team Lift. Like, he listens to every episode, he writes us after every episode. Massive DC fan. You and him have the same opinion. You just said something he said to me before. He said, I went into it, and he said, yeah, I could pick it apart and say, hey, I wish it would have been 3 films. I wish it would have stuck to this one continuity. He said he could have made 3 great films out of this.
You could have made, you could
He
have made
said-
2 beautifully written movies.
Yeah, he said, I would have almost
There was
rather got
enough
one this summer
material.
and one next summer.
That's exactly when, as soon as I walked out of the theater, I went to see it with Travis. We both loved it. Travis being Team Superman, me being Team Batman. We left the theater. We went to see it with about 6, 7 other people, and we were the only ones leaving there with smiles on our faces.
Dang.
All of our friends were like, what did we just watch? And they toured a new one. And Travis and I were like, this was the best thing that's ever happened. This is exactly what we wanted. Now, could it have been done better? Yes. Could they have made 2 movies? There was so much material there. But they're rushing. The studio feels everybody's beating down their neck because they're being compared to Marvel.
They are.
Marvel had 10 years.
Yeah, and they've had that amount of time too, and they've sat there with their fucking thumbs up their asses and let Zack Snyder fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Okay, we know you don't like
We
Zack
know
Snyder.
you don't
Brandon,
like
you
it.
stop. We ripped him on episode 7. You do not rip him on episode 9. Okay? This is not the Zack Snyder smash hour again. Here's our thing. I'm not a big fan of Zack Snyder. I feel like he doesn't have a delicate enough hand to handle
No.
these movies the way I want to see
Just
them
like he did with Watchmen.
Watchmen was actually really good though.
But
the only problem with Watchmen was the change that they made at the end when they turned everybody against Dr. Manhattan instead of actually doing the whole alien invasion storyline that's in the fucking comics. If you watch the extended Ultimate Edition cut that's like almost 4 hours long that has like the full Black Freighter integrated into it, it's cinematically amazing. Like, it's probably one of the best comic book movies that's ever been made. But it's just, again, it's, 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Here's
It's
what
too
gets
much
me.
for
Why
one
do
film.
Why do we
That's-
always see DC films do this? I think there's a thing that we're starting to see with DC films where, like, okay, I grew up watching Christopher Reeve. He was my Superman. Okay, I still have Superman, I think 2 and 3 on Blu-ray somewhere in my house.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching those as a kid, and even in the 80s, Superman could do every freaking thing. Okay, he just, I don't care what happened, who they brought him up against. He somehow had a power that you had never seen in the first previous 200 issues that showed up to be able to take this guy out.
That's why I hate Superman.
And then Batman, now hold on, I'm going to tell you guys something. Batman in the 60s, I was born in 71, but Batman from the 60s and the early 70s, this is where he got hokey. And I hate to say this because a lot of people love the Adam West show from the 60s. Okay, they do. But Batman and that freaking utility belt of just magical portals, and I just happen to have some secret anti-Batman laughing gas in this belt. How did you know to bring laughing gas on this mission?
Because that's Batman's superpower.
A magical portal belt?
No.
Batman's superpower is preparation.
Preparation. Batman has a plan
This is why I
for
say
everything.
that always, Batman would be able to beat Wolverine in a fight. Because Batman would spend 6 or 7 months figuring out what his powers are and how to counter them. And he'd fucking hit him in the face with something that would just neutralize all of his powers and then kick the shit out of him.
Just like he did with Superman in Batman vs. Superman.
Exactly.
Notice that
But you know who he didn't
Notice
do
the
too?
movie ends with Superman in a coffin.
Well,
not Batman.
Yeah, well, it ends with Superman in a coffin because they tried again to fit fucking 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. You do not come with that in that first fucking movie. The death of Superman shouldn't have happened for like 4 or 5 films, so that when Superman dies, we actually feel something. I mean, why the fuck in that movie did Superman only have like 65 fucking lines?
Because he sucks.
Exactly. Like, what
You guys are
what were
brutal.
they thinking?
I'm gonna bring on a guest in 2 weeks. It's gonna be a Superman fan to counter all this shit you got. It's a hate squad, y'all. Superman hate squad is what your name should be. Okay, so okay. Let me ask you guys this: have you seen the new director's cut?
Yes.
Does the director's cut tell a more compelling story?
Yes. It does.
So how much longer is it? Is it
32 minutes longer.
okay? So 32 minutes, you can add some stuff.
So
in.
half an episode of Smallville clears up a lot of plot, apparently.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't clear up all the plot holes. It's just a better movie.
So
Okay, so explain to me, why the fuck did the Flash show up in a mecha suit, like, at the beginning of the film?
So I read a couple articles because I myself am confused as to why that was even in the movie.
Yeah.
Now, it goes again with like the whole Injustice storyline where Lois Lane is the key to Batman or to Superman's sanity. And if anything happens to her, then all the fears that Batman has will come true. He will lose his mind and you can't stop him.
Yeah, you can.
Well, obviously you can
I'm
because
gonna tell you something. If you read the comic books, Kingdom Come,
yeah.
Injustice, it's been mentioned several times in DC lore that if this fool ever loses his mind, a lot of people can die before we end up stopping
before
him.
we can stop him.
Yeah.
A lot of people will have to die. Now, Kingdom Come, a great comic book series.
Alex Ross,
Oh my
amazing.
gosh. Great comic book series. If you haven't found it, you can find a collected volume for it. I think there's not a Barnes and Noble in America that doesn't have a copy of this book for $15.
Amazon
Yeah.
too. Don't
Yeah,
forget about
get it, read it. Kingdom Come told a great story, and what it kind of got me was this was supposed to be an Elseworlds version. You know, Elseworlds was kind of a like DC's version of What If in the Marvel universe, and it was an Elseworlds story where we saw Superman, Wonder Woman, the Trinity as they're called, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman of DC lore. The Trinity had kind of stepped away, and there were all these newer, younger, more brash heroes, and they didn't mind taking a life. To like, if I have to kill this one person to save millions, I will kill this guy. So they kind of crossed the line that Batman won't ever cross. And so,
Except in Batman vs. Superman, where he kills literally everybody for the whole film.
shut your mouth. Okay,
Okay, that's something I actually want. That's something I want to talk
we're
about.
gonna bring that in. I want
Because-
to get to that. I want to know what you think, because we saw this where we saw a different Superman in that, who did lose Lois to a guy, and Batman at the time could have killed the guy, and he doesn't. And Superman, being racked in grief, doesn't kill the guy. We get a young hero that does the murder. And that's the one thing that stopped Superman from going on the rampage, is that he got to see the guy punished.
Yeah.
So in our version, we've always talked about, hey, Batman never crosses the line because that makes him just as bad as, that's the one thing. If he crosses that line, he's just as bad as
He's
the
just
Joker.
as bad as the criminals.
Yeah, so
Why
this
was he
version of the
branding
movie, we
people
saw
and
him
sending them to
killed.
prison to go get killed?
Because he doesn't give a fuck.
Why did
anymore.
he jump his car through a fucking semi and kill like a dozen fucking people?
Because this isn't a
about-
25-year-old Batman anymore. This is an old
But
Frank
even
Miller Batman.
even in Frank Miller's Batman, when Batman came back and started kicking the shit out of people and went on a rampage in his tank, he was still shooting rubber bullets at people and didn't actually kill anybody. He did break a lot of fucking legs and arms and shit.
But
This
did,
Batman
but
damn
did
near-
he kill anybody in this movie?
Yeah, he did.
Who?
When they were in the chase scene, when he jumped his fucking car through that truck that was full of the
Okay,
guys.
yeah, that's right. He did kill those guys.
And the flash forward to when the boom tubes started showing up and shit started coming through, and he killed all those guys in the fucking desert.
Well, those weren't.
And then all the
those
guys
were
that he
Superman
branded
soldiers.
and sent to prison so that they could go die at somebody else's hand because they had a Batman brand on them. He killed a lot of people in that movie. A lot of them.
Yes, they deserved it.
Oh, so it's okay because they deserved it.
Exactly.
Hey, I think that's kind of the American way, actually. I'm not sure that's not the American motto. It's okay to die if you deserve it.
Well, if you think about it, Superman killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, I know,
in the
and I
Man of
didn't like
Steel.
that either. I thought that was
he
fucking
got-
terrible too.
Because here's my thing: like they
He
flew
took
through
down
buildings.
a whole goddamn city.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was going through. Like
mean,
to me,
he-
Superman would have said, "Hey, look, you want to fight me? Let's go out in the desert and go handle
Or let's
business."
go up in space. We all fucking
he
fly.
could have, yeah, he could have just grabbed Zod and took him into fucking space and beat the shit out of him on the moon. I mean,
Yeah.
that happened in one of the '70s Superman movies.
That's
he took
actually-
that
But
fucking
instead, he took the fight to
superpowered
Gotham,
sun asshole and jammed
and
him into the fucking moon.
destroyed half of Metropolis, and then, like you said, jumped over to Gotham and destroyed the other half of Gotham. So, are we not gonna? I mean, that was the other part of the movie. Are we not gonna hold Superman responsible for killing thousands of people?
Well, here's my thing: why is it okay? I
But,
guess I don't
mean,
get
I
this.
think though, could we hold Superman responsible for that?
I think
like,
Superman would
even-
let you hold him accountable.
I think he would because he's a fucking Boy Scout.
He would have. But here's my problem: is why is it in? I guess the DC universe to me is a little too. They try to be a little bit too much gritty. I mean, like if we watch, okay, the Marvel movies, right? In essence, these are true to the comic book characters. They don't really get out of line from the comic book. When I watch the DC cinematic universe, this Batman, this Superman, they're not in line with the comic books. I mean, because, we could say it's the older, more gritty Batman, but he still has a code of ethics that he's going to work by. That Superman would not have endangered a whole city to take out Zod, ever.
Nor
in
would
the
he have
history of
snapped
Superman.
Zod's neck. He would have just fucking sent him back to the Phantom Zone like he should have.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. That's the one time I was kind of happy with Superman when he broke that fool's neck. I was like, he deserved it.
That's the thing is, though, in that scene, he didn't even need to kill Zod. He could have just moved his hand up over his eyes.
You really are gonna go there?
Yeah.
You don't take
You're
this moment of
goddamn right I'm
silence
gonna
out.
go there.
You don't take that moment of silence out. That one stays in because I want people to hear what happened in that moment of silence. I stared at you like you were crazy. That's what I want to happen in that moment of silence. You don't take that one out when we post edit this. That stays. I want people to know there was a 10-second silence of me just staring at Brandon like this fool done lost his
Just
damn
literally
mind.
just had to do this. Oh, look, everybody lives.
I'm gonna put my hand over his eyes. We're gonna play patty cake. Peekaboo, no.
And then right after that, just fly straight up out of the fucking atmosphere, out into fucking space, and then beat the shit out of him on the moon or whatever the hell you want to do until you've got him subdued enough to send him back to the Phantom Zone. Because that's what's supposed to happen to all of the Kryptonians. They just get sent back to the Phantom Zone where they're supposed to be.
You see what I
And
did
then the
with-
Ark wouldn't have had to have been
That's what I did
destroyed,
with-
and he could have probably brought back all of Krypton and repopulated a whole nother planet with them. But instead, the Ark gets destroyed. Superman still has all the DNA from everybody in him, but nothing can be done with it. Zod's dead. All the rest of the Kryptonians are fucking dead.
He's supposed to be a man abandoned without a society, so I kind of like that idea.
Me too.
I did like that one. I mean, I don't like the way they got to it, but I kind of like the idea that Superman comes here, like, for years. Superman had no family. He had lost everything. And then all of a sudden, in comic books, as for older guy, when his cousin shows up, you're kind of like,
Care.
what? I thought for years you've been it. Now there's this chick that's also, she was from there. We didn't know her ship left. Nobody told us other kids left. And then we get Power Girl later, years later. We go, what?
But Power Girl's not even from their universe. She's Kara from another universe.
And this is why I hate DC Comics sometimes.
So what I want is on Arrow, in the Arrowverse, when they finally bring Supergirl over, and now they're bringing in a new Superman, is I want them to do Power Girl from Earth 2.
I just want them to do Power Girl for 2 reasons.
No, it's 2 reasons. Those are.
Yeah. they seem to be busting out of that white uniform. Those 2 reasons. Okay.
And that's my professional opinion on that.
You know what? Obviously, you're not alone in that one. We just discussed her recently about her. They finally gave her a costume change.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She
And
doesn't have the
everything's
boob window
covered up
anymore.
now. There's no more
Oh.
boob window.
It happened actually like a couple years ago. I think they might have reverted back to the old uniform though.
Well, that's
No.
a disgrace.
Yeah, they've gotten away.
I think we need
got
to
the
start a
boob window out.
petition.
Yeah, you're not going to be alone on that one. I think Brandon was pushing that already online. You may check our website.
It was
Guys.
a petition to whitehouse.gov.
Yeah, come on.
You guys will never ever be on this show together again. This is weird. You two are crazy.
We'll go make our own show with
Seriously.
blackjack and hookers.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, I'm done. I tried to control it, and I like to say at the 41-minute mark is where it went completely batshit
Went
crazy.
right
with you
onto
two.
the rails. That's
Yeah, we was like, you were on the edge of going off the rails. Fuck them, they blew up the rails at 41 minutes. Okay,
You should have known what you got into when you invited me over here.
this is a wild one. Okay, so we have got.
I think I might actually have to normalize this one too. So.
we may have to. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm going to ask you guys. I got to get this good. If I can quit laughing. Let me get this back on track. Okay, so.
There was a track?
I don't know if there was, but if the Blu-ray's getting ready to come out, right? We know
Yeah.
the Batman Dawn of Justice, I guess, is coming out. It's going to be the extended cut. You've seen it. Would you recommend it as a buy?
Yes.
If
Buy
you were
it.
giving it a scale A+ to F, where does it fall on the scale with the extra 32 minutes?
It's a B minus.
That's
B
exactly
minus.
what I was thinking.
B minus. That's not a B minus. That's good. That's passing.
Shit, that's what grades I got in school.
Okay.
That's passing.
So-
Okay.
Tell me what is in this 30 minutes of footage? Like, what does it explain, or what does it add to, I guess?
I know there's one of the biggest things. Okay, I'm sure that I know that it was in the original cinematic version, but I didn't really notice it as much as I did in the extended version. Was the Wayne Manor's destroyed,
Yeah.
and I really want to know why.
Yeah, there's a scene where they cut to Wayne Manor and you see Wayne Manor's destroyed, and then they're in this like little weird house, which looks exactly like the house from that artificial intelligence movie that came out recently.
Ex
Ex Machina, yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it's the same fucking house.
Yeah,
So.
but I don't know, maybe it was just an extra long clip of it, or maybe they showed it a couple more times. But the first 3 times I watched the movie, I missed that. I totally was not paying attention. I want to know what happened to Wayne Manor, and I think that there's a definite story there, because he's still living on the property, but he's not living in Wayne Manor, and I want to know why. Second thing I remember is when Lex Luthor has created Darkseid. There's another scene where when they come to collect him, right before they come to arrest him, there's something else in the water with him. And I'm almost positive that it's Darkseid's...
Dad, is it Steppenwolf, or is it?
I think it's his son.
It's Darkseid's son.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought it looked like Steppenwolf. I'm thinking it's either Steppenwolf or it's Darkseid's dad, which I cannot remember his name for the life of me at the moment.
Either way, I know it has to do with the Darkseid.
Yeah, because he's got like 3 mother boxes. It looks
Yeah,
like,
he's
too.
got there, and that's another scene. Was the mother boxes were there?
Yeah.
So you see the mother box when Cyborg's being created,
Yeah.
and then there's 3 more mother boxes in the water with Lex, and there's the figure, and it's not like in X-Men where you think you see a shadow of the Phoenix in the water. This is a figure standing there.
Okay.
And then he disappears, but right before the SWAT comes in and arrests Lex.
Because I know that scene got released a little bit after the film came out as like a web extra.
Oh, there was also another scene where they definitely talk a lot more about the fact that the African woman that you see in the beginning talking to the Congress people about, how does he choose who gets to live and who gets to die?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that Lex Luthor actually paid her to say all that. Her parents aren't dead. Her village did not get destroyed. Lex Luthor's blackmailing her to say all these things, and then she dies. One of Lex's henchmen pushes her in front of a subway train, and
So they don't really explain either about the trial. Like, what the fuck exactly was the trial supposed to be about?
it was supposed to be about Superman coming and acknowledging basically his crimes. And
That he killed like a zillion people. And
another thing that they don't say in the cinematic movie is that Lois Lane discovers that the wheelchair's bomb was concealed with lead. So he goes, I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see it. Turns out he couldn't see it anyways,
yeah.
because it was covered in lead. So even if he had been paying attention or
wouldn't have
had
seen
been
it.
looking for
Yeah.
something, he wouldn't have seen it.
Okay.
So how the fuck does Lex know that he can't see through lead?
That's another thing that doesn't make sense. I don't think that Lex Luthor is crazy because he's crazy. I think that Lex Luthor is already been infiltrated by Darkseid and has a knowledge of Superman that we don't know yet because they haven't said it. There's a reason why Lex hates him. You don't just wake up one day and start hating Superman, because if you think about it, Lex is actually making money off of Superman. The more destructive things that happen, Lex Luthor is contracting out all of those things.
Yeah.
So every time Superman knocks down a building, LexCorp gets a job to rebuild that building. So Superman's essentially good for his business. So there's something we're missing. There's something that they're not telling us. Why
Which
Lex is
the reason why it would have been better as more movies.
Yes, this is why it would have been better as more movies.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have
That's another thing. Is how did he find out about the kryptonite? How does he know that kryptonite?
no.
can
There's
hurt
stuff that
Superman?
we don't know.
There's
I mean,
a
let's
bunch of
just
stuff
do.
we don't know.
If we could make a whole show of where we just picked apart,
Where we just ask
inconsistencies,
Yeah.
and just ask that.
Were you excited to see the boom tubes and Darkseid's troops?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was.
How do you feel about Suicide Squad now that that's getting ready to come out? I mean, we're closer to
That
Suicide
comes out on
Squad.
my birthday.
Really.
That's next month. We're
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
August. It's like
Yeah.
August
5th.
17th
August
or August
5th.
5th.
Yeah.
So we're really
I'm gonna
close
see
to this
it.
one.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna see it because it's me. I'm gonna see it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I'm trying not to go into it thinking you're gonna hate this movie, because then I become those people who I just
Yeah.
criticize.
Did you
I
read the
heard
new
the quotes
52
around
version
that
of
too.
Suicide Squad?
I have not read the new 52 Suicide Squad. I've read the new 52 Batman.
I've gotten him hyped up on it, and we've talked to a lot of people that listen to
I
the
need
show.
it. You have it.
He's got it.
I've read the entire run. Okay, that entire run was. I've told you before, when it came to the new 52, I thought Scott Snyder's run on Batman was phenomenal.
Scott Snyder is amazing.
He he totally took the Batman mythos and ran with it, and I'm loving all the work he did with Batman. And one of my favorite things I would love to see made into a movie would be the Court of Owls.
Court of
story.
Owls. Thank you.
Yeah. Give me
I-
that movie and
I
I'll lose
so
my
want that.
mind. Okay. But one of the things that happened with New 52 was we got a Wonder Woman that was truly compelling, that took her place among the gods, and we got to see her interaction with the gods, and she kicked ass. We saw Aquaman that was no longer the butt of jokes like we got from the Super Friends. We actually got Aquaman
Useless
that
man.
was a badass. He was
If you
badass.
think about it, though, Aquaman has always been badass. He's
really
just
was.
been really misunderstood.
He was been written. You
Yeah.
put a great
All
character
those
in the
all
hand
those
of a
years
man.
of flying in the backs of those fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was ridiculous.
That was such crap. It never happened in the comic book, but we get this Super Friends show, and it's like he talks to a can of tuna fish. That's his superpower, and that was terrible. They really ruined a good character with that show.
His
What
trident
is
can
Aquaman
actually,
gonna do to hurt anybody in the middle of Kansas? I mean,
That
how
was
is
the
he gonna?
thing that, if you read the comic book in the New 52, Aquaman had the super strength.
He still has
He had
superpowers
speed.
outside of the
He
water.
didn't need to be in the
know.
water
He
to
doesn't.
kick
Yeah, he
your ass.
doesn't need to be in the water, and also his trident is one of the things on Earth that can penetrate Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he had and he was bulletproof
Yeah,
in the
and
comic book.
he's bulletproof.
Aquaman now with more Superman penetrating powers.
Yeah. Well, that's another movie
That's
I'll see.
That's another show.
And the music in that one went like, it was a totally different Aquaman you're talking about. So, but yeah,
But I think Jason Momoa is going to bring a really good
Yeah.
Aquaman.
I do too. So, okay, out of the, we
Ronan is
saw a bunch
always
of
amazing.
heroes. Which one do you think is going to be the one? What movie are you the most excited to see coming now from the DC universe?
Wonder Woman.
You're waiting to see what they do with the Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Because I really think that if you think of this is the first woman-led superhero movie. Black Widow didn't get her own movie.
Yeah,
Black
she
Widow
had-
is getting her own movie.
She
Shut
is
up.
getting one.
She is.
They've said she's going to get one, and Captain Marvel's going to get one. Wonder Woman, though, will probably be the first to theaters.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman will be the first of theaters, but yeah, no,
They're
they're
going to do a Black. Yeah, we've
They're doing
covered
Black
this.
Widow. They're doing
They've already started casting
Miss
Captain Marvel.
or Captain Marvel.
Okay.
They're doing
Because they
the
did the Catwoman movie with Halle Berry, and they did a horrible job.
That was terrible.
And I pretend like it doesn't exist, just like I pretend like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mr. Freeze did not exist.
Yeah, I don't recognize
And the bat
those
and the
either.
bat nipples on
Yeah.
George Clooney's bat suit does not exist.
Yeah, we don't recognize that film at all. No. But I did like the original. Okay, let's be honest. The first Batman, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, Tim Burton.
Not a bad
That was the
Batman.
first Batman movie I ever. My mother took me to see that movie, the premiere. She won tickets on the radio. She took me. I was a baby, and I watched the whole movie. She goes, I brought you out of that theater, and people were like, this baby was here the whole time? And then she was like, yeah. They're like, wow, I didn't know. There was, I watched the whole goddamn thing.
No noise.
No noise. I was hooked.
It was Batman.
I was Batman.
Like, I see my future.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I was not even one.
Here's my thing. All the billionaires in this world, not one of them has even attempted to build a Batmobile.
You just give me the money. I'm gonna let you know.
It's just that's so
There is a
disappointing.
guy, I think he's in Florida, who is a billionaire who got himself a full bat suit, and he goes around from hospital to hospital, and
He died.
he died. What?
The guy that did that?
Yeah, he died. He got into a car accident.
Oh,
In the
that is
Batmobile?
bullshit.
And well, he had a. It was a Corvette.
Yeah.
And he had the bat suit. Yeah, he was coming home from one of the hospitals, and I think he got pulled over, and something happened, and then he got into a car accident.
Only in freaking Florida.
Yeah, that's why I don't do things in Florida.
Florida. You
Stay out
ruined
of
something
Florida.
all All right, that's sad, man.
Yeah,
That is
sorry
sad.
to bring y'all down.
We're gonna have to go into that. I want to find one millionaire that's willing to build a Batmobile, and we'd be like, okay, we can get behind this guy.
Yeah.
We can get behind him. In fact, let that guy run for president, and I'll vote for him.
You know what? I almost bought a shirt yesterday that said Batman for president.
He'd be better than any other candidate,
Yes, he would.
even if he killed everybody.
Kill everybody.
He still would be better than any other candidate we have a choice for. So, when is this movie? Let's go ahead. I know we're running out of time on this episode. Brandon, when is The Killing Joke hitting theaters, man? When
July 25th.
is, you
Yeah.
guys,
Sorry.
that day, you both are going. Would you want to come back after that? Join us for another episode,
Yeah,
maybe?
definitely.
We're talking about The Killing Joke.
Yeah, I can probably go on and on about it. Mark Hamill gives me chills.
Okay, so this is another thing too. Is they've kind of pussyfooted around the whole Batman and Superman thing in the Arrowverse for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
But they have mentioned the fact that they're Men of Steel, and they've alluded to Batman, and Superman is actually coming on the show in the next season of Supergirl. So that means that there's also a Joker somewhere, and we know that Harley Quinn was on Arrow as just a voice
And
in
just
a
a
box.
voice. I remember that.
So
So if there's a Harley Quinn, there's a Joker.
who would we cast as a TV Batman?
Kevin.
We can't do Kevin Conroy off
Why?
the bat because he's too old at the moment. That's the problem. It'd have to be
So-
Batman Beyond.
So you would want it to be a young Batman.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have a young Superman. We've got a young Supergirl. We've got a young Arrow.
If that's the case, I'd probably want it to be a no-name.
No name. Mm-hmm. Just some guy.
Some guy.
We need some young talent, man, to be surrounded. I mean, even if it was somebody that's like been on an MTV show or one
No,
of those
I'm so
characters.
tired of MTV superheroes.
Yeah.
No.
We could get
No.
some. What I mean, they seem to be pulling a lot of those into this DC
I know, they need to
cinematic
stop.
universe now. I would like to see, because I'll be honest with you, I was more upset that the Flash on the TV show is not going to be the Flash in the movies.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was very
'Cause
upset because
that-
it's such a well-written show,
He's a great Flash.
and he's a great Flash.
Grant
Great
Gustin
flag.
is awesome.
So, in fact, I started following him on Twitter because of Brandon. Because I got tired of seeing Brandon's post always on Twitter, and I was like, I need to follow this guy, man. So, we're definitely going to have you back, Batman. It's been a pleasure having you here. You want to hang out with us?
Sure.
Because we got questions for you. You guys that aren't going to hear this, we're just going to keep talking to her about stuff. But, man, we're really having a blast with you. So we pretty much fall on the side of the road that Brandon's still going to be a hater. But you're telling us we should get the Blu-ray.
Get
we
the
should see
Blu-ray.
it for the extra content.
Get the Blu-ray and forget everything that you've heard about the movie, and just go into it with an open heart.
Okay.
Just realize it's what it is.
Enjoy it for that.
And enjoy it for what it is. It's the fight scenes. They're
Fight
amazing.
scenes are amazing.
The scene
there's-
where Batman just annihilates everybody on the way to save Martha Kent. Absolutely stunning.
Oh yeah. And by the way, why did they stop fighting and become super best friends at the mention of the
Okay.
name Martha? Because it doesn't
That
even
was
make no goddamn
hilarious
sense at all.
and so very Step Brothers. But
Did we just become best
did we
friends?
just become best friends? I think so.
We
But-
always
Mom's name
joke
is
about
Martha.
that.
His
Okay,
name is Martha.
But I on a serious note, what I think happened after watching it again is that for the first time Batman sees Superman as somebody with a mother. And I don't think he ever thought of him that way. I think he always thought of him as an alien, somebody who was not human and had no rights to be here. And I think in that moment he realized that this man had a mother. And I think it changed something in him.
And now he's not going to kill anybody anymore ever again.
No, he's probably going to murder everybody. But it stopped him in his tracks. And that's just how I feel.
I'm gonna do that. You know what? If I
Martha.
take away anything from this, it's like now all the people that I see online on Facebook that irritate me and piss me off, I'm gonna just have to remember those people have mothers.
Yep.
And their mothers are probably rotten whores to give me this rotten child. But at least I will now recognize the humanity of having a mother. I'm just saying. I still will want to kill them like Batman, but it is what it is. All right, man, no, we've had a pleasure with you here. Definitely want you to come back. I'm probably going to have to get Travis on this show one day.
Yes.
Because I need somebody that's a Superman fan to counter the hate that you two are. Because here's what you guys don't realize. I read the emails, and there are going to be some Superman fans that are going to light me on fire this week.
Suck it.
Yeah. Why did you defend Superman? I didn't ruin Superman. Call DC. I
Here's
just
Zack
had to
Snyder's
sit
phone
with these
number.
two Superman haters for an hour. I know Travis somewhere is like, he's cursed y'all under his
Oh,
breath.
yes. Oh, yes.
He's
Travis and I
cursing.
get into these fights all the time. Just like Tommy and I get into these fights all the time.
Oh, man. And we love Tommy. Tommy's our boy. We talked about him at Chainsaw Ape. Tommy is a huge Superman fan. I know Travis is one too. But we're going to have to get Travis on in the future because we got to balance out that hate. Y'all are some hateful people when it comes to that movie. Y'all love Batman and hate Superman. I'm going to get some Superman fans in here. And I just want everybody that's writing into the show and you've been following us on Twitter, please keep following us over there at GoTeamLift. You can also reach us at email at goteamlift@gmail.com. And as you know, somebody actually is reading the emails. Joe Nathan, I know you're going to hear this episode. I did not say anything hateful about Superman. I mean, yeah, he's a terribly written character these days. But hey, still love you, bro. So don't hate us. Also, at Thiazide on Twitter. And
yeah.
you can find me at Coach Silky. The GD Batman. Now, that's the gamer tag. That's on Xbox. That's PSN. That's everywhere.
Yep.
Twitter handle?
Yeah. Same Twitter handle.
So at GD Batman or at the GD Batman?
At the GD Batman.
All right, you can find her on Twitter. Definitely do not come with any Batman hate. She will debate you all day. She has the plethora of Batman information at her fingertips. And man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks for coming out and joining us.
No problem.
Guys, it's been wonderful. Once again, it's Roderick McDaniel and
Brandon Bowie.
you just listened to Team Lift. Man, this week, go be nice to each other and Superman fans. Bye.
No.
Thanks for listening to the Team Lift podcast with your hosts, Brendan Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Join us again next week as we discuss more topics from geek culture. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter page at GoTeamLift, as well as our personal pages at Coach Silky and at Thiazide. You can direct questions and comments to us on our Twitter page, as well as find links to all of our social media outlets. Thank you for listening. See you again next week.